Morning. My name is Joe DeSimone, and I'm a professor in chemical engineering and radiology here at Stanford and co-director of PHIND. I want to welcome everyone here this morning to our symposium. For the last two years, we've had a symposium in honor of our colleague Sam Gambhir to celebrate all the impact that he's had and inspiration. And it's, being new to Stanford, is still wonderful to see his legacy burn bright here at Stanford, and everyone reminiscing about who he was and everything he talked about constantly. And it's refreshing to constantly see Sam's life celebrated in that regard. And our PHIND Center, which I've been asked to co-direct with Garry Gold, is one of those entities that Sam started, and the legacy it burns bright with that as well. And we have now decided that the annual symposium for the PHIND Center is now going to be named in his honor. So it'll be the Gambhir Symposium, our annual symposium for the PHIND Center, to reflect on the trajectory that he put us and many people on regarding precision health going forward. So that's what today represents, as the first example of that. And what's also really exciting for me personally is that the program today includes some of the most prominent clinical and research topics from around the country, around the world, frankly, and ones that represent, I think, some of the biggest impact for the future of medicine. In particular, it's a fusion of medicine and engineering with clinical impact, and in particular, a huge focus on translation and entrepreneurship. And I'm really excited. We've got lots of startup companies talking today, and people that have been on the front lines of driving clinical programs. And it's going to be this fusion of translational medicine, engineering topics that I think really embodies everything that we're trying to do in our program here. So I hope you enjoy it. Ryan and I have worked closely putting this together, and there's a meeting that I reminisce a lot about. It's the Bob Langer U.S.-Japan Drug Delivery Conference that happens every other year, and it's got a similar flavor. And so in that context, we're emulating that. But before we get started too far, I want to introduce my colleague, Professor Garry Gold. Garry is a chair of our department. He's a clinical radiologist and active investigator in patient-oriented research. And he's been really terrific to work with over the years and welcoming me to Stanford. So please join me in welcoming Garry Gold.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's really an honor to be here for the third Gambhir Symposium. When I reflect upon the impact that Sam has had on so many of us, it's truly remarkable that even after Sam passed away, that his thoughts, his ideas, his vision for the future of medicine and healthcare really infuse everything we do here at Stanford. And I was so grateful that Joe DeSimone accepted the invitation to become the co-director of the PHIND Center. Joe and Sam were good friends and scientific colleagues for many years, and Joe is the named professor, the Sanjeev Sam Gambhir Professor of Radiology Chemical engineering here at Stanford, and I think it's really fitting because he carries on that spirit of innovation, the spirit of moving healthcare in a positive and proactive direction, and the real fusion of medicine and engineering, which gives rise to incredible possibilities. I was going to be here this morning with Aruna Gambhir, Sam's wife. Unfortunately, Aruna could not be here because her brother just passed away yesterday. Her brother had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and is just yet another reminder, I think, for all of us of what we're trying to accomplish here, that rather than wait for cancer to declare itself in symptoms and show up in the doctor's office with an advanced cancer that's difficult or impossible to treat, what Sam wanted to do was change the paradigm around healthcare to move us to precision health, where instead of being in a reactive position where we'd wait for cancer to declare itself, we would go looking for it. We would use all the tools of science and engineering at our disposal to detect disease early, and then when we find it, we would treat it when it's easiest to treat. And that's really the vision of precision health and the vision of the PHIND Center, the Precision Health and Integrated Diagnostic Center at Stanford. Aruna says that please let everyone at the symposium know that I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person since my brother was yet another casualty of the cancer plague. Speaking to you, the audience, and the speakers, Aruna says your hard efforts in precision health will hopefully make cancer become a treatable ailment. Thank you for honoring Sam's legacy and for your contribution to the field of precision health. I'm really looking forward to really a number of terrific talks today that will point us, I believe, in the right direction to move so that we can indeed make cancer and other ailments much more treatable in the future. Thank you.